this video, we'll be focusing on complex fractions. So let's get started with a very simple fraction here. We have 10 over 2, which we know could also be written as 10 divided by 2. So let me just go back to elementary. We know that 5 times 2 is what gives us 10. So we know that the answer is 5. But let's rewrite this in a different way. What if we said 10 divided by 2? Whenever we're dividing, let's say 10 divided by 2 over 1. We're dividing and we have a fraction. We keep the first thing the same, change the sign to multiplication, and flip this. So now we're saying 10 times 1/2, which is the same thing as dividing by 2. So this would be 5. So that's a simple example, but that's going to help us with this problem here. This is a complex fraction because we have a fraction in the numerator and or a fraction in the denominator, which we have both here. So what we're going to do is start by rewriting this. We're going to say x minus 1 over 5 divided by x plus 3 over 5, just like we did here. And now we're going to keep the first term the same, change the sign to multiplication, and take the reciprocal of the second term. So now we have something that we can work with. If you'll notice, these 5s are going to reduce to 1. So our final answer would be x minus 1 over x plus 3. So what looked like a complicated problem was really not that bad if we just remembered a little bit about multiplying and dividing with fractions. Let's look at this one here. Same thing. We have x plus 2 over 3 divided by x plus 5 over x. We're going to keep the first term the same, change the sign to multiplication, and we're going to have the reciprocal of the second term. Nothing is going to simplify here, so we're going to multiply across. So we have x times x plus 2 over 3 times x plus 5. Still nothing's going away, but if we wanted to, we could just simplify this by distributing the x, but it's not necessary, and distributing the 3. So either answer here would be correct. Alright, let's move up to one that's a little bit different. Here, this is still a complex fraction because we have a fraction within a fraction, but our denominator is in the fraction this time. We can still work the same way. We have x squared plus 2x minus 3 over x minus 3 divided by 4x plus 12, and I always put that over 1 to help me with this next step. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 3 over x minus 3 times 1 over 4x plus 12, because we're just taking the reciprocal of that second term. I think we can factor some things in here, so let's start with this numerator here. I'm going to say x plus 3, x minus 1, can't do anything with this denominator here, times 1 over 4 times x plus 3. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in parentheses here. So if you'll notice, we have this and this that are cross products that we can reduce to 1. So our final answer here is going to be x minus 1 over 4 times x minus 3. So again, not a hard process, but something that is easy to forget, so we're just reviewing it here. Let's look at one more problem. We have x over 2 minus 1 over x minus 2. So what I would do first is let's get this into one fraction. So we know we're going to have a denominator of 2. So we're going to have to multiply this by 2 over 2. So we'll have x minus 2 over 2 over x minus 2. We need to follow the same steps we were doing here. We'll have x minus 2 divided by 2 divided by x minus 2, and I'm going to go ahead and put that over 1 just like I did here to help me remember to take the reciprocal. So I'm going to have x minus 2 over 2 times 1 over x minus 2. If you'll notice, these two terms are going to reduce to 1, and we'll be left with 1/2 as our final answer. So in this video, we have reviewed how to simplify complex fractions.